So, Jack, it's our first meeting. Could
Yeah.
you could you
Nice to
tell
meet
me
you.
about yourself? Nice to
Of
meet you.
course.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I am I'm an English instructor here in South Korea at a
Okay,
university. I've
okay.
been at the same university for almost 20 years now, which is
Oh,
shocking.
okay.
I know. I can't believe I'm that
No,
old.
no, it's not shocking actually. It's in India also, in India also, people work in the same place like 20, 25, 30 years. So it's
Yeah.
not shocking for me.
Yeah, I mean, Americans used to do that too, and then it kind of changed a little bit. Like now we change our careers more often, but yeah, I mean
Mhm.
it's such a good job. I really enjoy it that
Oh, it's great.
I can't stop, you know. I'm kind of addicted to teaching at the university in Korea. So,
Okay, it's
yeah.
which things gives you a happiness, then I think you should continue this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It does make me happy to do this
Yeah.
job, and it's the only job I'm cut out for. Um,
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And I just kind of accidentally fell into it. When I was 23 years old, I got a
Okay.
job. I was living in America. I'm from the United States. I
Yeah.
grew up in Minnesota and I lived in California. And I
Hmm.
got a job teaching English in Thailand. And
Okay.
this was back in 2001. And I was going to just stay for 1 year, just 1 year, go back to America, and
Okay.
I never went home. I just continued living
20
in Asia.
since oh
Yeah.
20 since 23 years you didn't get your home.
I've gone back for a visit, but I
Okay,
never
only
went
visit.
back. Yeah, I never went back to live there again. I've always and I didn't go back for 10 years actually. So
Oh my
10
God.
years I didn't even
So,
touch the ground in America. Yeah.
oh, you don't have a family over there? Like your
I
parents and
do. I have parents, and they were not happy about that 10 years. I just talked to them on
you
Skype, and
know,
I,
okay.
I don't have any
Yeah.
money. It's too expensive. I can't go back home, and
Oh,
come
I
here and
can
visit
understand.
me.
In a last 26 years. So I have been there 2 and 3 times in US, Boston.
Boston. Okay, very nice. How do you like the weather? It's quite cold in the winter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I went there in the summer actually. At the
Okay.
time, it was very good. And my brother in kind of a rural area. He live
Yeah.
in a in a in a jungle actually.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
at 5:30 in the evening, everybody is when they're home, and I got bored, so much bored over there.
That's amazing because I in another podcast or another interview on a different channel,
Mhm,
um,
mhm.
somebody asked me why did I stay in Asia, and I told you because at 5:30, everybody in America, a lot
Oh,
of places, they go home, shut the door, go inside, and it's everything
yeah,
is dead outside until the next day.
yeah,
And
yeah,
in Asia, it's always alive. There's always
yeah,
markets and something
yeah.
happening and noise. And I guess maybe it would be like living in New York City, but it's kind of like everywhere in Asia.
I visited in New York also. I visited New
Yeah.
York, Houston, Dallas, Miami, and yeah, yeah.
What was your English language journey? Like how did you become such a good English speaker?
It's if I talk about my English journey, I started my journey last 3.5 months.
Wow. Okay. So even though you traveled to America, you there when you
Oh,
first started, you
actually,
couldn't really communicate
yeah,
with people?
yeah. Actually, at that time I was not able to speak in a single word. Actually,
Wow.
there somebody started asking me a way. Actually, at that time I was not able to. I was not got it. Actually, I wasn't get his properly. Then I replied that what
Yeah.
I
I
thought.
mean,
thought
yeah.
I should. Since then, I working on my English.
Well, good for you. That's great. I mean, it's never, my Korean is not very good, but I still want to learn better. I want to become a better Korean speaker. And I feel like sometimes I'm too old. I'm 46 years old. I'm almost 47. I feel
But
like, oh, I can't learn, but
age
it's not true.
is only numbers. Age is only numbers.
Yes, exactly. I agree with
I'm a
you.
53. I'm a 53. So
Yeah, and you did it and you speak so nice. I mean, your English is so good. I'm kind of shocked you said only a year and a half. I would have
yeah,
thought, many years of English study, but yeah, that's great. That's such a good
thank
story.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I have been running a NGO actually. So in that NGO, I want to open a English speaking classes. So
Mhm.
that's why the second reason I'm learning this.
Right, right. And you said that you teach needy children, is that right? You teach them English? Is that what you teach them?
From first class to eighth class, I can teach every subject.
Great, right. So you can help them with their math and science and reading and
Right.
all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, that's great. That's really you're giving back to the community, which is really something special
I'm,
and important, I
I'm,
think.
I'm
Yeah,
trying actually.
yeah. Well, that's great. Um,
Mhm.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else interesting about my story. I've told my story several times now in the last couple weeks, so I'm
Okay.
uh, I'm starting to summarize it smaller and smaller, shorter amounts. But I am married. I live in Korea with my wife. My wife
Okay.
is Korean. She's a Korean
Okay.
national. And then we
Okay.
have a daughter, and my daughter is a teenager. She's 15 years old, but she lives
Okay.
in America, and she studies ballet. So she's a ballerina, and so she's
Oh,
going to an performing arts school in America. And
okay.
my wife and I are just really proud of her and all of her
Um,
accomplishments. It's very exciting, but it's a little bit hard to live far away from your kid, but I know she's happy and she's studying something that she loves. She's following her dream, which is, yeah,
okay.
really important.
Yeah, great. So she live there. She live there alone with any
No, she
relative?
lives at the school, so they have a dormitory, and so all the
Okay.
students live together, and you have to live there to attend
Okay.
that school. They don't have any I don't know what you call it, commuter students. Everybody lives in the school.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's really exciting to watch her, and then I get to see her English language improve because now she's living in America and she's only speaking English now. So when she lived in Korea, she really only spoke English with me. That was it.
Okay.
Everybody else, her friends, her mom, grandmother, she spoke Korean. So it's really nice to see her speak English, more
So
naturally. Yeah.
if you're in your family, everybody speak Korean. So why didn't you get to learn this?
That's a great question. Actually, my wife speaks English really well. She's an English teacher. So,
Okay.
yeah, so for my wife and I, it's easy to communicate in English because
Mhm.
her English is just a million times better than my Korean will ever be. And
Okay.
so and then if I need help, she always helped me. And then I just got lazy. If I need to speak, I just ask her to translate. And,
Okay.
instead of, when
Mhm.
you have to learn something, it's kind of necessity. Like necessity makes it more is really good inspiration to do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but when you don't need it and you
Yeah.
just you can get lazy and
Yeah.
complacent, and that's what I did. So 20 years
Yeah.
I never learned the language. It's really
One question I want to ask you, Jack,
Sure.
you born and brought up in a US actually,
Yes.
okay, and you moved in South Korea. So, what type of difference did you find between America and South Korea? It would be maybe it could be a very difficult for you. Actually, maybe cultural differences
I think
and.
the
What?
move to Thailand was the most difficult, was the first move. The first time was really shocking, a real shock to the system to live in another country. And
Mhm.
that got really difficult. After the first 3 months is the honeymoon period. You know, you
Oh,
feel everything is so exciting and new. And
oh,
then you start to feel contempt. Like you're like, I hate the way they do this. I hate the way they do that. It's not like America. You know, you get really down. And then you come back up again and you kind of level off and you
mm,
find a balance and you say, you know, it's just
mhm,
different. You know, the
mm,
way that they do things in Korea is a little bit different than the way we do things in America. The way they do things in Thailand is a little bit different. And you just
mm,
accept the differences. And you say, some things that Koreans do, I really like. And there are some
oh,
things that I don't really enjoy that much. And I miss things I miss about America and things I don't miss about America. And at the
mm,
end of the day, I'm happier here in Korea
okay.
than I was in America, mainly because, you know, I found my family here and I raised
Mm,
my daughter here with my wife and my
mhm.
job is here, my career. I built a life in Korea that was really satisfying and good. I'm very
Yeah.
lucky and blessed. I feel really blessed to have gotten this
Great.
opportunity to live here and work here and teach here. And I've taught so many university students. I love teaching university students. Like I don't really like teaching kids that much. It's really hard work and a lot
Yeah.
of classroom management. But when
Mhm.
you teach at the university level, you can really push them to think, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
challenge them with really difficult ideas. And
yeah.
I try to listen to them and I tell them that their opinion does matter. They're the future, you know, of the country. And they're, you know, what they how they behave now and what they learn now when they're young, they're going to
Mm,
carry with them later. And if their attitude is like, oh, my opinion doesn't matter,
mhm.
then they're they'll continue thinking that they don't matter into the future. We have to,
Yeah,
you know, we have to tell the society needs to accept younger people as part
mhm.
of the, you know, they're adults. I mean, I think this happens in every country to some
Yeah,
degree.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's every country this happen like this actually. Actually, the scenario of the grown up the people is going change. Because in if I talk about my time at the time, we were the obedient kids actually. Nowadays, the totally system going to change. Now the parents understanding that nowadays kids are not. The policy of the scolding and all the time make them understand it's not working actually. Now
Hmm.
they are shifting to technology of the they make them understand in a very what should I like they whenever in my time they prefer to tight slap, but
Right.
nowadays they
Yeah.
tight hug. Actually they believe in that. Nowadays,
Right.
children should need the tight hug, not a tight slap, actually.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I agree. We need to, you know, we need to instill
yeah.
self-esteem into our children,
Make
make them
them,
confident, you know, not
yeah,
overconfident, you know. They
yeah,
should be punished when they misbehave, but there are ways to do that in a loving manner, not
yeah,
the kind of
yeah, yeah.
old style where corporal punishment where you know, we hit kids or spank them or slap them.
Yeah. Mhm.
No, I agree. I think people are waking up now to
Oh, yeah.
better practices for child
Mm.
raising and child rearing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
In India, what everything is changed so much because in our time, the parents have a five used to have a six, seven children, one parents, but nowadays they have a only one single child actually.
Yes.
So So everything is gave them too much attention. Actually, that single child. That
Uh,
is the reason to change the behavior towards them.
yes.
Yeah,
In Korea, we have a problem with
yeah,
the childbirth rate is too low in Korea. People like my family, my wife and I just have one child. So we can
yeah.
kind of focus all of our resources and
Yeah.
education on one kid.
Every, in
But
every age. in every
Yeah, and I think
area.
that's happening everywhere. Yeah, yeah, in a
So,
lot of
Jack, I
places.
want to ask regarding English. I want to
Yes.
ask some question regarding English, regarding your podcast actually.
Okay.
When did you start your podcast? And please, could you tell me?
Absolutely. I would love to talk about the
Which?
podcast. I'll
Hmm.
let the listeners know what the podcast is. It's called the A to Z English Podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Yeah.
and we started the A to Z English Podcast about a little over a year ago. And I
Okay.
started it with another friend of mine, another man, and
Okay.
he stopped doing the podcast. He got busy, and so
Okay.
we found our current host is Sochel. Sochel and I, and Sochel is she is from America also, and
Okay. She's
and
also she's
yeah,
also living in South Korea,
no,
or
she
is
lives
she
in Mexico
handling
actually.
from
She
America?
lives in Oaxaca, Mexico.
Okay, Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah, she's from America, but her mother is Mexican, so she has dual citizenship. She's Mexican and American. And so
Okay.
she grew up in America, but she
Okay.
lives in Mexico, speaks Spanish perfectly.
Okay.
And she's an amazing co-host because and we've never met face to face. I only
Okay.
know her through the internet. We were
Okay.
just friends, through like Facebook. We connected, and I invited her to join the podcast, and
Okay.
she's great. I mean, she has a totally different perspective
Mhm.
because she's young. She's 26, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of old. I'm 46, so it's a weird match, of us to do a podcast together. But we really developed a nice friendship over the
Okay.
last year, she jokes about my age. I'm old. I don't understand young people, and I joke that she's too young. You don't understand the
Okay.
older people, and we have a really fun kind of chemistry on the podcast. And I think we laugh, we joke, we talk about serious issues, we talk about fun issues, we
Yeah.
describe idioms, we'll talk about language points. We just the podcast is really just a variety of different topics and things.
But I read there actually. You sent me the link actually. Then I
Mhm.
read the one episode. But these are the not a video podcast. It's a audio.
Right. This is
Isn't it?
all. Yeah, we only do audio podcasts. So
Yeah.
it's the audio pod. I do have a YouTube channel, the A to Z English Podcast YouTube channel, but I just post kind of funny videos there, or some of my own videos, but that's just
Okay.
extra. It's not really part of the podcast.
Okay.
The podcast is meant to be an audio podcast. I'm not really Social and I we're not like YouTubers. We're not comfortable in front of the camera. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's not my. I'm not used to being in front of the camera. You can tell your viewers are like can
It's
see
very
I'm
silent.
uncomfortable. You
Makes
know.
it makes me shy person. Okay.
Well, I'm not shy. I don't know if I'm shy, but I'm just like I know that I'm not like I'm not I'm not pretty enough to be in front of the camera. You know what I mean? Like it's a
Yeah.
young person's kind of different. I don't know. It's a
Oh,
different game. YouTube.
it's
It's a
it's
yeah.
yeah, it's a difference actually. Whenever I go to some party or any place, and all the time I want to like that, click the pictures. Actually, it's not.
Yeah.
Am I 23?
No, no,
So
no, no. That's great. Yeah,
so
but
shy.
you look very young though. You look much younger than your age. So I think you're doing great. Your channel is awesome. But I
Thank you.
just know that like it's not. I don't really have the YouTube charisma. I think that it takes. I think some people have it, and some people don't. And I just feel more comfortable doing an audio podcast. And
Okay.
also, it's something that people can listen to on the train. On the bus. You just put in
Yeah.
your headphones and you just
Yeah.
listen to the podcast, and when you're cleaning
Uh,
the house and you just listen. And there's
oh.
something very intimate, and I like that medium a lot. I love listening to podcasts. I'm a huge fan, so I listen to
Mhm.
probably 12 or 15 podcasts a week. and
Mm.
and I just spend. I don't even watch TV anymore. I only listen to podcasts, and
Oh.
um and I loved them so
Which
much that I decided to make a podcast.
So
So that
do
yeah.
you listen your own podcast or other
I do.
podcasts you are
I
following?
for quality for QC quality control.
Okay,
I will listen to it to make sure that it sounds okay, that the editing is
okay.
okay. But
Mm.
I don't. I if once I listen to it one time, I'll never listen to it again. It's just
So
yeah.
so my second question is that you already working on your podcast. So from where a idea got in your mind to start your YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's when I got into the podcasting, that was I met a YouTuber named Robin Shaw. He has a
Okay.
huge channel, 2 million subscribers, on YouTube, and his
Mm.
is sorry, it's a little hot in Korea. It's called Shaw English Online, and
Okay.
Shaw English is very famous, and he's a friend of mine. He's a big
It is
YouTuber.
in South, it's in a South Korea or a
No,
like
his channel, he's in South Korea. He lives in South Korea, but he's an
okay.
American English teacher. But he teaches in South
Mm.
Korea, and he
Mhm.
started his channel about 10 years ago, and it just exploded. It's huge, just a huge channel. 2 million
Mhm.
subs, just a monster channel. And
Okay.
he maybe you've seen his videos. He does 100 questions. I don't know if you've seen those videos, but it's just 100 questions. And
Okay.
he encouraged me to try YouTube, being a YouTuber. He's like, "Why don't you
Okay.
make some videos and try?" And I tried it for a while. I liked it, but I just wasn't getting the subscribers and the attention. And our podcast recently has really grown a lot. It's getting
Okay.
more popular. One place I would really love for the podcast to grow is in India. And so I've been doing a lot of interviews. Well, just ironically, people from India have asked me to come on to their channel and
Yeah.
to do an interview. And I was like, wow, that's amazing because I really wanted to, spread the
Oh,
podcast in India, like let people know about the podcast out at this
all
time. Yeah.
okay. My all wishes with you. Your channel just grow in a as soon as possible.
Oh,
So
great. Well,
many
how did
people.
you
I
find my
don't
channel?
know.
Did you find my YouTube channel?
No, no, I didn't find yet actually, but I definitely search your channel, and I think you sent your link. But I just got your podcast link
Oh,
actually.
I probably only sent the podcast link. Yeah, I didn't even send the YouTube link. I was just well, the podcast is the A to Z English podcast, and our website is a2zenglishpodcast.com. And I'll send you the
Okay.
link if you don't mind putting the link in the description. That would really help us a lot. Um, or I already sent you the link. Actually, I think you
Yeah,
have it
but
already.
you sent the link about your podcast, not about your YouTube channel.
Oh, my YouTube channel. Yeah, the
Mhm.
YouTube channel. Yeah, it's called the A to Z English Podcast. So it's the same name. So
Okay,
you can
same.
just go. Yeah, if you just go to YouTube and Google. Yeah.
Definitely
Oops.
watch it and subscribe it. Okay.
Yeah,
And
they can subscribe.
I want
Yeah.
oh, I want to one question about the South Korea culture. You know,
Sure.
you have been living in it last 23 years. So
Yeah.
actually, I read this in a somewhere there is a four number they never use in their numbers. They don't use the four number four.
Yes, that's right. Well, number four
Why?
is yeah, number four. So this is also true in China, I believe, in the Chinese alphabet. And
Okay.
the in the Chinese alphabet, the number
Okay.
four means death.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, so it's considered an unlucky number. So in our elevator at school, it goes first floor, second floor, third floor, and then they
Mhm.
don't write the number four, they just put F for
Okay.
four, like
But
English four. And they don't use the Chinese character or anything like that because the four number four means death, so it's unlucky.
oh, I thought it's a myth, it's a not true, but you are saying it's true. So true. Right. But those people, what happened? Those people, those are born on fourth date of fourth.
My daughter's born on the 4th. Yeah. I don't know. She seems like her life's pretty lucky so far. So I don't know. You know, um, my I mean, we also have the 13th is 13 is an unlucky number in America or in the West, right? We have
Okay.
the number 13 is considered unlucky in Western
Unlucky.
culture. Yeah.
In India, Indian culture, 13 number also unlucky. Consider
Oh,
that.
really? Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
most of the people don't believe on it actually.
No,
Like
no, it's just
if you ask
superstition.
me, I
Yeah.
don't believe in any type of superstition
No,
actually.
no, I don't believe in it either. And if that's good because my daughter was born on the 4th. I didn't even realize that until you just said that. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, my daughter's born on the 4th." So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
unlucky.
So, Jack, it was a wonderful conversation with you.
Yeah, same.
Amazing. So, being a English teacher, you are a lecturer in a good university in South Korea. So, what would you what would you say about my English speaking? Actually, I
Oh,
want to.
you're an A student in my class. You'll be an A student in my class. No problem. You'd be fine. Your
Oh,
English is excellent.
thank
Yeah,
you, thank you.
yeah.
Okay.
It was a great
So,
conversation too. I really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you very much for having me on your channel.
okay. Thank you so much for giving your precious time. Okay, thank you so much.
Anytime. Okay.
Wonderful session with you. Thank
Thanks a
you
lot,
so much.
Nisha. Have a great day.
Okay,
Okay.
same to you. Same to you.
Thank
Okay,
you. Bye-bye.
take care.